Get ready for NFL action, because the San Francisco 49ers are facing a major decision in the 2026 draft. We dive deep into why the team is so focused on securing the right edge rusher, and we look at the specific prospect Alex Ballentine identified that the team should absolutely avoid at pick number 27. We break down the tough analysis on why this particular player might not fit the 49ers' current defensive structure, even with his impressive stats, and what the bigger picture means for the team's long-term success.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
Next up, we're breaking down the entire edge rushers landscape for the 49ers, exploring where John Lynch sees their biggest need, and looking at the top contenders they should target, including the high-risk, high-reward profile of Parker, who brings incredible physicality, but carries significant health concerns. We also examine the speed rusher options, weighing the pros and cons of different players, and figuring out if trading back into the second round is the smart move for the Niners. We're also looking at potential roster moves and shifting narratives surrounding the 49ers. We discuss the possibility of the San Francisco 49ers trading Dee Winters during the NFL draft and what that move could signal about their future plans. Then, we pivot to the wide receiver situation as we examine the ongoing debate surrounding De'Zhaun Stribling and why analysts are now defending his selection, comparing him favorably to receivers like Chris Godwin and looking at the path to playing time for the rookie. The cycle continues in the NFL draft, and the narrative around De'Zhaun Stribling is far from over. We analyze how the perception of his draft selection is shifting from a bad pick to a potentially great one, and we explore the factors, like playing time, injury situations, and the demands of head coach Kyle Shanahan, that could determine his rookie season. Don't miss the final verdict on the 49ers draft strategy, and stick with us because we have more breaking news coming up. Noi Dung Kai Tight. The San Francisco 49ers are reportedly considering targeting a pass rusher in the 2026 NFL Draft at pick number 27, a move driven by the team's need to bolster its defensive pass rush. Last season, the 49ers struggled significantly, recording only 20 sacks, the lowest total in the NFL. This defensive shortfall was compounded by major injuries, including the absence of star defensive end Nick Bosa and first-round pick Michael Williams, both sidelined by ACL injuries. /N/N, in an effort to identify potential pitfalls for teams, Alex Ballentine of Bleacher Report has flagged a specific prospect the 49ers should avoid: former Texas A&M edge rusher Cashius Howell. Howell has been linked to San Francisco in mock drafts, with Garrett Podell of CBS Sports also sending him to the team in a deliberately challenging draft simulation. /N/N, despite Howell's impressive statistics, including 11.5 sacks, 14 tackles for loss last season, and 25 sacks over the last 3 years, Ballentine argues that the player lacks the necessary physical profile for the 49ers defense. Ballentine stated that Howell possesses too many limitations for the team's scheme. He pointed out that the 49ers' current edge group, consisting of Williams, Bosa, and K.N. White, features the requisite size and play strength. Specifically, Ballentine highlighted Howell's physical shortcomings, noting he is undersized at 6'2", 253 pounds, and has a 0 percentile arm length for the position. /N/N, Ballentine concluded that relying on Howell, described as a size outlier who may struggle against the run, to fill a critical role is unrealistic, especially given the 49ers' aging core and the necessity of securing talent at pick 27. Analysts suggest that for a team with multiple positional needs, missing out on a key defensive prospect at this juncture could jeopardize long-term success. The San Francisco 49ers are reportedly targeting edge rushers in their upcoming draft, emphasizing the need for players who can effectively defend the run while also rushing the passer. With John Lynch identifying the pass rusher as the team's biggest need, the focus is shifting toward two-way edges capable of impact in both areas, especially as Raheem Morris looks for rushers who can drop back into coverage in modern front schemes. The draft profile suggests that edge talent will be highly sought after, with analysts indicating that if the Niners do not acquire a third-round pick in a trade, edge players are expected to be among the first two selections. The team is looking to avoid waiting until the late fourth round, where top talent may be depleted. Several prospects have been evaluated. One player stands out as a pure pass rusher with deep bag of moves, boasting 40 pressures, 7 sacks, and a 36% pass rush win rate, though concerns remain regarding a high missed tackle rate and lack of tackles in run situations. Another prospect shows explosive get-off and closing speed, making him a potential speed rusher capable of dropping into coverage, though he has a learning curve ahead. A hybrid option exhibits strong conversion from speed to power, demonstrating significant pressure production with 41 pressures and 11 sacks, though he may lack the necessary lower body power for consistent run defense. Conversely, a pure pass rusher excels at converting speed to power, boasting 41 pressures and a 36% win rate, but is flagged for lacking power and needing to be utilized primarily as a pass rusher. Ultimately, the assessment suggests that the Niners should target the early to mid-second round if they trade back from the 27th pick, viewing this as a sweet spot. While several names were dismissed as lacking the necessary traits or upside, one sleeper prospect is noted if the team deals back into the 5th round. An undersized rusher with big hands who utilizes those hands effectively for wins. San Francisco 49ers are reportedly exploring the possibility of trading running back Dee Winters during the upcoming NFL draft. This development was discussed by Grant Cohn, Nick Talks Niners, and Madge Sports, indicating internal discussions regarding the team's draft strategy and roster management. The potential trade suggests the 49ers are evaluating options for their offensive personnel acquisition strategy as the draft approaches. The debate surrounding the San Francisco 49ers' second-round wide receiver selection, De'Zhaun Stribling, remains highly contested, with recent analysis suggesting he draws comparisons to a solid receiver rather than a significant disappointment. ESPN analyst Jeremy Fowler drew a parallel between Stribling and Tampa Bay Buccaneers receiver Chris Godwin, noting similar college measurables despite Stribling being slightly taller. While acknowledging that physical metrics do not guarantee long-term success, the comparison highlights a shifting narrative. Initially viewed as a questionable pick, with critics suggesting Stribling should have been selected later, support for the choice is now emerging, with some defending the selection by positioning him as superior to other receivers drafted ahead of him, such as Mackay Lemon and Omar Cooper Jr. This cycle of opinion is typical of off-season discussions, where narratives evolve rapidly. However, the true measure of Stribling's potential remains unknown. Entering his rookie season, Stribling faces stiff competition on the depth chart, with established players like Mike Evans, Ricky Pearsall, Christian Kirk, and DeMarcus Robinson ahead of him. Head coach Kyle Shanahan is known for demanding high performance from his receivers, meaning Stribling must prove himself. His value may hinge on his ability to contribute as a run blocker, potentially filling a void left by John Jennings, or on opportunities arising from injuries to other key players like Evans and Pearsall. If Stribling can successfully execute his role and secure playing time, he could potentially emulate the success of receivers like Godwin. Ultimately, the 49ers will need time to assess the caliber of player they have acquired before fully determining his impact on the team.